It's Penny and the professor. Here's Penny.
Wow, Penny, we have done a lot of noticing and wondering already in lesson 1. So, Penny, I see you still have your magnifying glass. What are you doing with that? Can I have it? Thank you. Let's put that away for now. Oh, you have another question? Okay, what is it? Oh, I understand. That is a hard one. So, boys and girls, Penny said that she's really good at noticing because she looks carefully at everything. She has this magnifying glass that helps her out to look closely, and she really notices details in things. But she has a question about wondering. She said wondering's a little bit harder for her. I wonder if it's a little bit harder for some of you too. It's hard to understand how to wonder. And so, Penny, I have something that might help us. Do you want to know what it is? Yeah? Okay, so it's not a secret, but I'm going to whisper it and reveal it for you guys. It's should we tell them? Do they need to know? Do you guys want to know? It's called the Wonder Wheel. I know, it sounds really cool. It is pretty cool. So it's going to help us to do more with wondering. So let me get that out for you. So I'm going to set Penny over here in her little chair. It looks like this. Wonder Wheel. So I have this Wonder Wheel and I use it to help me wonder. So when I wonder about things, it means I'm curious or I'm interested or I just want to know more, right? I want to know more. So I'm wondering about something. So for one thing, I wonder about why it's so cold outside in the winter. I sometimes wonder about that. I wonder about why the sky is blue. And I wonder about how people make really cool videos online or how to become a YouTube star. I wonder about all of these things. So it helps me to think of a question word to start my wonder with. So we have some different words that are called question words that help us with wondering. And so I have them on little cards right here for us. And so let's practice just a little bit. I'm going to pull out this one right here. And I'm going to practice saying, this one says, why? Okay. So I'm going to practice saying, why are you wearing a bow in your hair today? I was wondering about that, Penny. She doesn't have to answer me right now because I'm just wondering, right? This one says, how? So I wonder how people drive safely. How do they know? How do they just know how to drive their cars safely? Here's another one. This is where. So I wonder where I could go on vacation. Where could I go on vacation? Here's one that says who. I wonder who will be in my class next year. I know who's in my class right now, but who will be in my class next year? I wonder. This one says when. I wonder when I'll be done recording all of the videos for Wit and Wisdom and we'll be just ready to learn all the time. I wonder when that will happen. And this one says, what? I wonder what I'm going to have for lunch. I'm getting hungry already, so I'm wondering what I will have for lunch. So you see how you can use these question words to just ask questions about the world and wonder about the world. Does that help, Penny? Does that help a little bit? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So Penny said, yeah, okay. She asks questions about the world all the time, which we know, because when Penny has a question, I'm supposed to have an answer. That's a little bit of a misnomer, though, because I don't always have the answers. And then I need your help to help me figure them out. Well, Penny wants to know how we wonder in a book or in a text. How do we wonder about the book, My Five Senses? So we did noticing really well, and some of us did some really good wondering, but she wants more help on how to wonder about a text. So you guys will remember we read this story, My Five Senses, right? And she wants to know, how do we wonder about this? So let's practice here. Let me open up to a page here. Give you guys a little bit of help here. Let's see here. Ooh, this is a good one right here. So this page, this first page says, with my eyes, I see myself, my shadow. So it's got a picture of a girl looking in a mirror. And my first thought with this one is, why? I wonder why she's looking in a mirror. I wonder why. And then this question over here, this one right here with the shadow, this one is kind of a science question I have. I wonder how she made a shadow. How does that work? So I'm wondering about the book. I don't always have to answer my answers right away, right? I can just wonder some things and think about it for the future. Maybe I'll be researching it. Maybe I'll be talking to my friends and sharing ideas, and we'll go over the reasons about, or the answers to my questions. But for now, that's how you wonder about a book. You open up to a page and you think about, what do you want to know more? What are you curious about? What are you interested in? What more do you want to know about the book? So I'll put our book back right over here for now, because, oh my gosh, I just heard a little tiny voice. Did you hear that, Penny? I can hear it. Did you guys hear that? I hear it. Do you guys know what it is? Penny, what is it? What is that voice? Oh, it's Crafty. You guys haven't met Crafty yet. Crafty is a caterpillar. Crafty has a little tiny voice because Crafty's a little tiny caterpillar. Let's go see. Oh, there she is. Look at that. So this is Crafty. And Crafty is a little caterpillar. And Crafty talks to us about writing in our response journals. And so Crafty is all kinds of parts. Look at all these little parts, because when you write, boys and girls, you're going to have different parts to your stories, different parts to your informational pieces, different parts to your writing, and different parts to even a page in your response journal. So caterpillars have different body parts, little balls for each part. So that's going to help us understand our writing as we move forward. So this is Crafty. Everybody meet Crafty, the caterpillar. And Crafty has a craft question for us today. Can you whisper it to me, Crafty? She's so quiet and it's hard to hear her voice. I'm going to get her right up here and by my ear. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I'll ask them if they know. So boys and girls, Crafty wants to know if you know why organizing our writing is important. We learned a little bit about this in Module 0, but why is organizing our writing important? What do you guys think? Think about that for just a minute. Penny, do you know why is organizing our writing important? Crafty really wants to know. Well, how about this, Crafty? How about we look at what our response journal looks like, and I'll introduce that to the boys and girls, and we'll see if that will help us. Does that sound like a good idea? Yeah? I think that would be okay. Penny, would it be okay if Crafty sits on your lap? Yeah? Okay, perfect. So Crafty's going to sit on Penny's lap, and we're going to get her response journal. Boys and girls, you have in your packet a response journal that looks like this, and it says, My Wit and Wisdom Response Journal by, and guess whose name goes there? Yours, because you're the author of this response journal. So this is going to be your writing to show your thinking. Sometimes you're wondering, sometimes what you notice in your response journal for us for kindergarten. Now you'll get new response journals as the year goes on. This is our first one for Module 1, and we'll change it up for Module 2 and get you a different one. But for now, we're going to look in Module 1. So we will open up to the first page. And in our first page, yours is stapled together, mine is not. You'll have a page that looks like this. This is going to be super important, boys and girls, because Crafty's question is, why is our organizing of our writing important? And I'll tell you why. It's important because if it's organized, you can read it, and I can read it, and anybody who reads your stuff can read it. So if you organize your writing, You can read it and other people can read it, and that's why we write. You wouldn't want to write something down for no reason. If nobody's going to read it, why write it, right? So we read, or we write, and we organize so other people can read our writing and so that we can read our writing later. Okay, boys and girls, so that one's easy. What? You have another question? Hold on, now she has another question. Let me see what it is. Gotta get her up here. Huh, okay. Oh, okay, I got that. Crafty wants to know, how does organizing in our response journal work? How does it work? Well, I've got your answer right here, boys and girls. So first of all, we have a space for pictures. This is where we draw our picture of what we're thinking or what we're writing about. And then down here, we have a place to organize the words. We'll organize our words by sounding out letters to put them together to make words. We'll also use the space to write sentences. So we have sounds that make up words, words that make up sentences, and sentences that make up stories. In our response journals, we will have one sentence on each page, and we will use sentence frames, which will help us to write a little bit more. So our first sentence frame that's going to help us organize our writing is I notice. Echo that after me, boys and girls. I'll go first, then you. Or we'll have Crafty help us. Crafty's going to face me. I notice. Now your turn. I notice. Good. So that's going to be the first part of our sentence in our response journals. And boys and girls, your parents, learning coaches, grandparents, older brothers and sisters, people at home can help you write I notice, and then there'll be a space after that where you'll put what you notice in the book, My 5 Senses. So we are wondering some things, but we're not ready to answer those yet. So you can go back and practice wondering. But in your assignment today, I want you to write I notice, and then draw a picture and write the word of something you notice. Now I want you guys to look at my example. It's up on the board here. I notice on one of the pages about tasting, the girl was eating watermelon, and I love watermelon, so I noticed it right away. So I wrote, I notice watermelon. Now you'll see that I sounded out watermelon with all the sounds I know. So when you're sounding out a word, I want you to think of the sounds you know and the letters that go with those sounds. I don't want a mom or a dad to write down the word and have you copy it, okay? I want to see what sounds you know go in that word. If you know how to write the word, like some kids know how to write cat, well, there's no cat in our book, so I know you didn't notice a cat. But when you're writing, I want you to think about using those sounds. If you already know how to write the word, it's okay, but I want you to use that sound knowledge, because when we write the sounds we hear and put those together to make words. So boys and girls, that will be your challenge today. You're gonna get your response journal out, make sure your name is nicely written on the front, as nice as possible, and then open up to the very first page and write, I notice, tell me something you noticed in My 5 Senses by Margaret Miller. Does that sound like a good assignment today, Miss Penny? Yes? How about you? Crafty, does that look like it'll work for us? Perfect. Crafty's on board. I can't wait to read about what you notice and see your first entry in your response journal. See you guys soon. Have a great day.